Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our channel. My name is IJ.
Hi, I'm Uchenna.
And tonight we're going to talk about one of our favorite TV shows, Married at First Sight, season 14, episode 13. But before we get into it, we want to make sure that you subscribe, you turn on your post notifications, and you comment below so that we know what you think about our views. And we want to hear your opinions too on the show. So let's get into it, Uchenna.
Yes.
So, this episode was so emotional for a lot of reasons. It brought light to a lot of the relationships and the issues that the relationships had, and actually gave them tools to help solve their relationship, to help initiate the resolution of the issues they had in their relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So we might as well start with Cal and one of our favorite couples, Olajuwon and Katina, talk about how their interactions with the counselors helped. And I'm so happy that the counselors really were helping them right now because they all needed it. It's like
they all need it.
Falling apart.
Well, no, I mean, there's one couple that's really building, and I think it's the only one.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Michael and Jasmina. Yeah, definitely agree with you. They're the ones that are building. They seem to be rocky in the beginning, right?
And they were horrible in the beginning. They were a sinking ship.
Right.
And then they found that rubber tire sealer and then pumped themselves up with air. And now they're doing so much better.
Right. Hopefully that tire plug stays in place.
Yes. Fingers crossed.
I know. So Pastor Cal and Katina met.
Yes.
And, one of the highlights of their conversations, I think, was two things. One was lust in marriage. And what's your thought about lust in marriage?
It has to be there. Like if you're married, you have to, have lust for your spouse, in order for to keep that spice and to keep that marriage going, because, we all know that it changes, as time goes on. So I think it's important, especially in the beginning. There's no doubt about it.
Right. I never heard of D Dizzy. Well, Pete, was it D Dizzy?
Yeah, it was D Dizzy.
I know. I never heard that before. Have you?
No, but it was a great, definition of it. Yeah. It was pretty accurate.
For those of you that don't know, D Dizzy is when lust takes over your mind. And that's all you think about is lust for that person, having sex with that person. And then afterwards, you're just like, why?
Yeah, because that D had you so mesmerized that you thought that it was love, but it was really just lust,
And so she said, so for this time period, I know you've said it before, I think a couple episodes ago, you said that, the decision to have sex or not have sex seems to be fluctuating back and forth between the both of them.
Yeah.
But this time it sounds like it's Katina that's, wants to hold off because she doesn't want to get into D Dizzy.
Yeah, which was a new word for Pastor Cal too. He looked shocked, and then he's cool because he was shocked at first, and then he got it, and he's like, okay, well, then he said D Dizzy, so that was good.
Right.
And he made a good point by saying, you're married, so it's okay to be that because you had that commitment, know.
And you said the word commitment. Do you think that Katina is committed to the marriage?
I think she's committed, but she's unsure based on her past relationships if it's going to last. So I think she's being cautious. Whereas, and because the time is so short, 8 weeks, you got to kind of throw that caution to the wind and hope that that other person is committed too, so you can really build and get to know each other.
Because I think sometimes if you have in the back of your head, you're going to fail at something, you sometimes go ahead and fail because it's a premonition. You're already lowering your expectations, so you're not working to, overcome it. So I think that's what's happening to her. And what do you think about her attitude? Do you think we're seeing a different side of Katina that's quiet and sullen, not the bright, bubbly person that we saw before?
Yeah, I think that she has definitely changed, especially in these last couple of episodes. Her demeanor is just low and quiet, reserved. It's almost as if she's afraid to do or say anything. She's always constantly thinking, is Olajuwon gonna find me acceptable? Is he gonna judge me? So I think all that pressure is like too much for her, you know,
Totally
and she's
agree.
just so sad and quiet.
Yeah, and it's hard to walk on eggshells. You can only do it for so long before you yourself begin to crack.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So let's get into Dr. Pepper and Olajuwon's interaction. I thought it was interesting because,
Yes, definitely.
yeah, he describes the relationship. Go ahead.
But before, do you think that Dr. Cal, I mean, I always say doctor, a Pastor Cal, do you think he helped her?
I think not really, because the advice about sex was the same as before, but they never carried through with it.
Right.
And she said before that, you know, in her past relationship, she's, you know, always had that thought of it's not going to work out. So she's repeating the same themes over again. So I really didn't think Dr. Cal helped her. Just like I don't really think Dr. Pepper, Pastor Cal helped her. I don't think Dr. Pepper helped Olajuwon.
Right. But I also think it's because Olajuwon didn't want to be helped. He didn't think he needed to be helped.
No, he doesn't think he needs to be helped. He thinks he's perfect.
Right, right. Yeah.
So he thinks their relationship is going great. He loves how caring Katina is and how she's improved and made changes, that he's helped her grow. That's what he said. He's helped her grow. But, you know, she still needs to be more vulnerable with him. I'm like, right. Be vulnerable with you so that you can chew that person out.
Right. And you know what? To give him credit, she has grown as a person. She's cooking, she's probably cleaning because that was an issue. You know, she's helping him take care of the house as a home. But it's just, she's just not, you know, happy. So, I mean, that's good, right? That she's changed, she's matured in that way.
Okay, it's good that she's mature. Okay, take my daughter, for example. She doesn't cook. Her refrigerator's bare. She cleans, as long as it's clean to her standards and so forth. She owns her own house and so forth. But since she's been in this new relationship, I'll call her. I'm like, hey, what are you doing, hon? She's like, oh, I'm cooking some chicken. What are you doing now? Oh, I'm making some salmon. I'm at the grocery store. I'm like, what? Like, but she's happy to do it because she wants to do it to make him happy, because it makes him happy. It makes her happy. He in turn cooks as well too.
And so, that's what Katina is doing for Olajuwon. But I think just like, it seems like Kaylin is doing it on her own. But I think with Olajuwon and Katina, he's kind of forcing her, well, like beretting her to do it, you know? Right. So I think that's the difference. And it's like really, and I think they are getting along great, because I think maybe Katina kind of holds back her feelings to make Olajuwon happy, which a lot of people do in relationships. They
do, but it ends up bubbling over at some certain point. And instead of coming out a little bit at a time, it just bursts open and it just causes issues. I could see her probably pretending to be happy when in reality, she loves him and wants things to work out. So she's willing to make those changes. But when Dr. Pepper said that, when Dr. Pepper said, I heard from those that have been around you that you demoralize and you
demean her.
Yeah, you demean her. And what else did she say? That she has no life skills. When she said that, he got angry.
He got angry.
Because
he was good up until then. Because he was talking about how great they were, what they were doing, how he's changed her and made her better, you know, and like, it's like he thinks he's an expert. So it's like, why does he think that when he hasn't had like a real relationship ever? Because he's been, you know, being Mr. Isaiah, whatever his fake name is. Right. So why do you think that he thinks he's this, you know, professor of relationships?
Because in his head, he knows. I don't think he had, from what I've seen so far, I don't think he had good parental role models growing up to see marriage. And so in his head, he has make-believe of how a marriage should be, how a wife and husband should be. And that's one of the things my husband said before to me. In his head, he had like a perfect family and a perfect wife and he was perfect. And that's how he thought things should be until reality hit.
Right.
And he realized that that's not really how things are.
Mhm.
So, so I'm thinking this is why he's acting the way he is, because he's so promiscuous and he doesn't want anything to do with that. And he wants this perfect life and he's willing to commit. But unfortunately, nobody's perfect.
Right. No,
Except for him, though.
Yeah. He's Mr. Perfect.
Right.
So do you think he had a right to be that angry at Dr. Pepper? Because he was treating her and talking to her like he talks to Katina. So do you think he had the right to like go off and get angry at her like that?
No, he has a lot of testosterone issues.
Oh, you think it might be some roid rage?
Yeah.
From all that weightlifting he does?
Because he is so alpha to the next level. Mm-hmm. Instead of saying, honey, I need you to really change. If somebody's angry, I need you to really change. He goes, I need you to really change. Like he goes above and beyond. Right, I don't think he's on steroids or anything like that. I just think that he doesn't know how to control himself. And like you said before when we were talking, until he sees himself, he honestly doesn't know how he acts. And I think
I do think he's trying. Like he'll admit at certain things that he's wrong and he needs to work on it. So I know he's trying. I know he wants this relationship to work, but I don't know. And
but he can't even say I love you. We'll get into that in a minute, but
maybe he doesn't love her yet,
Yeah, okay. But are you ready to talk about Lo and Steve?
Yes. Let's talk about annoying and Steve.
I like her.
No. Yes. I refuse to believe that.
I do.
When she was talking to Pastor Cal, I keep on saying Dr. Cal. When she was talking to Pastor Cal, she was fake and phony. She was like, oh yeah, everything's going great. Nothing's wrong. And that's not true at all. They had issues, but she was acting like things were great. And like when she told him what her main issue was finances, she's concerned that, maybe he doesn't know how to hold a permanent job. And for her and her family, which have had, money issues and have been poor for a long time, they all work. And that's all they know, to work. Right. And so, like you said in the past, like last week, you're like, so that's what her main issue is. And and then Pastor Cal was like, well, why don't you talk about finances? And she's like, yeah, we should. But hasn't Steve said that he's tried to sit down and talk to her about finances, but she refuses to?
I'll tell you the reason why. I believe that she's apprehensive about talking about it because without her talking about it, she can live in this la-la land for a little bit. Because she has in her head that, okay, I don't know for sure how much money he has. I don't know for sure if he's going to work or not. But right now I can pretend that he has enough money and he might get a job. But if reality comes and she hears how little he has, then reality sets in and she has to face it. So sometimes you put off doing things because you don't want to see the real reality of it. But one of the things I want to talk about, Uchenna, was her social media.
Ooh,
and what she said.
She is.
I did disagree with her on that.
That was, and her face, her expression.
She has the sour, dour look.
Yeah, like I don't give a bleep about what you're thinking. It means nothing. All that I'm thinking is what's going on. And that was
hard for me to take because she denied the social media thing, saying that it wasn't about you. And she was shifty when she was saying it too.
Right. And he was just like, come on, Noi, like, come on. And then she said, well, maybe, yes, it was about how he was feeling.
Right. But it wasn't about you, but I do feel that way though. How do you tell somebody you feel like they're not enough?
That's horrible.
Yeah.
And then because I told you he's better than her.
No, because
he deserves someone better than Noi. I'm sorry. Because he's a great guy, patient, caring, understanding.
Yeah, he
has money. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Good looking.
Yeah.
Yeah. And will cook and clean. Even when she's being obstinate, it's like, no, I'm not, you cook. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to clean the bathroom. Like, she's hard to deal with. She really is.
But we find out watching the after show that he makes quite a bit more money than what she thought.
Well, yeah, he has a lot saved, and he says he has really healthy
own businesses.
Say what?
He used to own businesses.
Oh,
okay. Entrepreneur. So he probably sold some of his tech companies and the apps that he's built and gotten money and royalties off of that.
Okay, yeah, maybe, because she did seem happier after they went over the account things, like Pastor Cal, Dr. Pepper said to do.
Which Bravo, Lifetime left that part out. We didn't get to
see into his bank account.
Yes.
How dare they?
I wanted to see some numbers.
I want to see some zeros. That's what I wanted to see.
Yes, that's what I wanted to see. So
do you think that she's going to stop on her social media? Because she was like, I understand what Pastor Cal is saying. I understand what you're saying, but this is my Instagram. These are my thoughts. So it seems like she's going to continue regardless about how much it hurts Steve.
She'll use it whenever they're happy. She'll be fine and won't really be posting negative things. But when he gets her mad, that's her tool. And he said during
to hurt him,
yeah. He said at the after party that his family sees it and contacted him and told him about the post, not him seeing it. Right. And they were like, what's going on with you and Noi? She just said this. And what Noi doesn't realize is that it's leaving a sour taste with his family.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So I didn't think about that.
And the family doesn't like you, you're screwed. It makes life a lot difficult, especially, grandkids when they have babies,
Yeah. The parents don't want the grandkids over, but they won't want to deal with her.
Yeah. They're like, oh, you can leave Noi at home.
Yes.
You and the kids come.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about a couple that really touched. Nana and I were watching this and we were really touched.
Really? Are you talking about
Lindsay and Mark?
You were touched? Really?
Yeah, we were. You weren't?
No, no.
Why?
They're so up and down.
I see Jasmina, you guys. I see Jasmina.
What? Where?
Right there.
Oh, please stop it. Please stop. They're so emotional every week, up and down. I can't take it. I don't have any emotions left to give to them. I'm just watching with a stone face and seeing what comes out next. Because 1 minute I like him, next minute I don't like him. 1 minute I like her, next minute I don't like her. So it's just, for me, it's too much.
But now
and I don't know what's real.
You said what?
I don't know what's real between them.
But now we find out why Lindsay's the way she is, and we find out why Mark is the way he is, why he can't say anything, and why he sees Lindsay the way. Because his parents, his mom berating the dad, and the dad just silently taking it, is him reliving it, where Lindsay is going off and he's just silent because he doesn't want to say anything that's going to just spark it off and make it even worse. So
Pastor Cal is good. He got that out of Mark, and he was stunned. He was like, whoa. And
began to tear up. I was like, wow, Pastor Cal, can you come to my house? Psychoanalyze me.
Right.
Because I was just like, wow. I knew it had, but his mom did everything for him.
Mm-hmm. She like Lindsay wants to do everything for him.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
So it's amazing that Lindsay is like his mom.
So how can that work? I don't think it can.
A lot of men love that have they want somebody to end up being somebody like their mom.
But he has major issues with his mom.
Because he treated the dad, right?
Right. And even probably treated him, and how she's so like depressed and having issues now. So I don't know how that would work in your spouse if you have so much bad feelings and great feelings, because I'm sure he loves his mom, about his mom. I think that would be difficult to overcome.
Yeah, I wonder if his mom was manipulative too, and used unconditional love. I'm just like, wow, Mark, you it's amazing how things from your childhood just continues on your back as you're growing. And even as a grown ass person, you still can't get that monkey off your back.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And Lindsay, I didn't know that Lindsay was probably emotionally and verbally abused by her mom. She said she had no love from her mom. That had to be hard growing up. Do you think the brother got love from the mom?
Yeah, I don't know. They never really discussed that, but it would be interesting to know if it was just her, and which would make her feel even worse.
Right. And Lindsay said something, Chen, that really hit me. She said, "I'm sad all the time."
Was she talking about sad in the relationship all the time?
I didn't know. I was wondering.
I think so. I don't think she was talking about herself, because she when we first met her, she was definitely not a sad person.
Yeah.
And
I'm not crying, I'm just dabbing my face.
Yes, you're crying. Oh my God.
No, I'm not crying.
I know.
No, it's just dabbing my face.
So I think she's sad all the time in the relationship, which is sad.
Yeah, which is sad. She probably doesn't know which way to go because she feels like Mark can't be consistent. And she's reaching out to him and he's pulling away. Is it because he's thinking, that's my mom? You're acting like
No, I think it's just like he has so much I think he has bad feelings for Lindsay. And sometimes he has good feelings for Lindsay. But, I don't know exactly why he's sticking in the relationship when, it's obvious it's not going to work, because he seems really upset with her,
Yeah. Is he upset with her because of the way she acts? And her behavior is explosive at times and unpredictable.
Yes.
And for him,
with everything. And she's silly, and, she's bubbly, and she's, has all this, manic energy. She's not manic, but she has all this crazy energy. So I think that's hard for him.
I think too, for him, he has a hard time dealing with the unpredictability of her. He's probably a person that likes routine, and her at going off at any minute, no matter where they're at. Somebody says something, she's ready to go off, or she becomes silly at inappropriate times.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's even more embarrassing.
Yeah.
So, but I did like the fact that they did talk afterwards, right? Afterwards, they talked and were real with each other.
Right.
And was able to hold each other.
Right. But how long did that last? Not very long, because when they met up as a group, she was leaning towards him and he was leaning even further away from her.
But I think that was just I think that's he has to work on that, because I think he has to work on that because he's probably conditioned himself that don't know how Lindsay's going to act now. And I think a major reason why Lindsay is sad is because he doesn't want to have sex with her, and that really hurts her. So I think that is really painful for her, that he doesn't want to have any physical connection with her or affection. Right. That's gotta be painful. Yeah. Yeah. I was going to show my husband something in the mirror. I said, "Keith, come here, honey." I took his hand. I was leading him to the bedroom to show him something in the mirror. And he's like, "Oh, okay, let's go." And then we got into the room and he's like, "All right." And I walked into the bedroom. He goes, "Oh." I was like, "Look at that mirror, Keith." And he's like, and he got up and walked away. Walked away. But yeah, I think affection goes a long way in a marriage. Sex goes a long way in a marriage.
Right.
I guess it's really, you can say "I love you" and do tasks to show "I love you," but he's not even doing that.
Right. I wonder why he does not want to have sex with her. As I don't know. It seems odd as a man that and they're married and he doesn't want to.
Yeah, I would want to know. The body odor. I don't.
Oh my God.
I don't think so. I love Lindsay. I love Lindsay.
Yeah. You love Lindsay now?
I always liked Lindsay. I just can't be a long-term friend where me and her are talking every day. Maybe we can. I don't know. I would just tell her, "You're getting on my nerves. Settle it down, girl." And we would, I like Lindsay. Lo and I can't be friends, but we can be acquaintances. Lo. I could get along.
Noi, IJ.
Noi, yeah, Noi.
Not Lo.
Yeah. Katina and I, we could be friends.
Yeah, Katina.
And I, Jasmina and I, we could be friends, but I feel like she'd be judgmental, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I think she would be
Judgmental.
fun sometimes and then judgmental or like really demanding sometimes.
If I said, hey, Jasmina, let's go wine tasting, she would go. But if I said, let's go club hopping and, twerking and stuff, she might not want to do that.
Right, right.
And I feel like she's judgmental at times. I don't know if it's her face. So
she has a resting bitch face.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, which is no fault of her own.
No, it's not. No, it's not. But let's talk about, while we're talking about that, let's go ahead and talk about her and Michael.
Yes.
I'm so proud of them.
I know. Bravo. What a shocker. Because I thought they had.
It would have been better bravo if they kissed.
So what?
If they kissed, it would have been real bravo.
Well, we found out that they were kissing. They were giving nighttime kisses.
But no, it's not a kiss.
It's something. It's lips. Which shocked me because I thought he was getting no affection. And Pastor Cal, he should be a doctor. That's why we keep on calling him Dr. Cal, because he pointed out, because when Michael was like, in the beginning, I was doing stuff for her because I felt obligated to do it as a husband. But now that I put in more effort and we're getting along, I want to do those things for her. And then Pastor Cal brought up their affection. And he was like, do they have any? And he was like, when we first began, he was like, have you ever reached out and touched her? And he was like, no. And he was like, why? And he was like, he kind of said like, did he say I'm a little scared too?
Well, he said that. I don't even know what he said.
Right. But then he brought up how she would give him a little kiss before they go to bed. And then she kind of said that she didn't feel comfortable doing it. And then he told her you didn't have to. And
that was like, even blows my mind.
Yeah.
I don't feel comfortable giving, even if you're mad at your spouse and he leans in to kiss me, I'm still going to take the kiss. I'm still going to be angry. I'm still going to go off, but I'll take the kiss. But I will say, I really don't feel comfortable giving you a kiss. That's just as bad as saying you're not good enough.
Yeah. Yeah. And he then said, well, you don't have to until you're ready. Yeah. And then Pastor Cal shocked me when he said that was your first mistake. I was like, whoa, what does he mean by that? And then he pointed out like how Michael was doing stuff for her when he didn't feel comfortable. He was doing it because out of an obligation. And then he learned to want to do it. And he said, that's what could have happened with Jasmina.
I know. I was blown away when he said that because I thought Michael said the right thing.
Me too.
Yeah. And maybe he is right. Maybe now had they continue the nightly kiss, now that they're getting along more, maybe some tongue action might have came into play.
Yeah, I think he's right about that. It would have progressed.
So
what did you think about Jasmina telling Dr. Pepper that she doesn't feel anything when he touches her?
I think that's true. I think that's true. I don't think him not being vulnerable with her, not that she's given him a safe space to do that, because the times he has, it's been a cold shoulder. This person died and this person died and this person died. Oh, okay. She hasn't given him a safe space to be vulnerable, I don't think. Right. And so she needs to look at herself for why he's not being vulnerable, besides it's just being him. But I think there's times when, I'm sure it has happened to you. We've been married for 24 years. There's times where I'm just like, if your husband touches you, you're just like, you don't really feel anything because maybe you're not in that headspace at that time. Right. But for them, I don't know.
Yeah. So do you think that they can get there? Because he did ask her. He asked her. And one thing I liked about this episode is like after they met with the doctors and pastor, they went back and they talked about it. And
except for one couple.
Who didn't do it?
Katina and
Olajuwon. Yeah, probably because he wouldn't let her.
Oh, that's sad.
So he had asked her, do you think that we can get there? And I think she said yes.
But she said that they need to connect emotionally and she needs to get to know him because she feels like she doesn't know.
She doesn't know him. Yeah, right. Which I don't understand, but yeah.
Because we know quite a bit about him.
Yeah, I know.
So what more do you want to know?
Right, right.
Like, yeah. Mm-hmm. So I thought it was good they all went to play volleyball together, right?
Yeah, yeah. I love how they're meeting up a lot more than any other season and connecting.
Right. And who would have thought that Katina and Olajuwon would be driving in a car with Lindsay and Mark?
I know. Well, at the after party, he had talked about how he and Katina and Lindsay had made up. Mm-hmm. And so now they're getting along, which is good. You know, right. No need to hold grudges.
Right. I was so happy. So y'all, they were playing volleyball. They got done. They all went down, sat in a circle and began to talk. And Olajuwon began to mouth off as usual.
About Dr. Pepper.
Yes. I was just listening to him. And there you saw little Katina.
I know.
Not saying anything.
Looking uncomfortable, not looking happy.
Not saying yes or anything like that. Not in her head, like in agreement with her, just sitting there.
Because I think that she felt like what the viewers, the people who are watching the show for the experts was being true. You know, I think what they were saying was correct. And she couldn't say that because he would get mad.
He would be furious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be a whole nother argument right then and there. Mm-hmm. So when Dr. Pepper came out, I was so happy.
He was like, and then he was like, oh, wow, I said it, you know, because he had that attitude.
And, you know, this is why I give Dr. Pepper and Pastor Cal such kudos, because my mouth would have gone off like, that is the way that you treat your wife. That is the way that she feels. Ask her, Katina, say something, Katina. You know, but Dr. Pepper was just like, you know, the main point is you guys' relationship is working well. You guys are communicating and you're able to get over issues. That's what's important, you know.
Right.
So he needs to think, who did she hear that from? Because it's just not made up.
Well, no, she said that the people who watch the show for them report what they find to the experts, and that's where she heard it from. Was from the people who watch the show.
Thought it was Katina. You know what? They need to ask Katina that. They never asked Katina that.
Right. But remember when he was like, he said what she said, and then Katina kind of like barely laughed, and then he was like, see, that's what happened when I talked to her about it. She started laughing. It's like, oh,
Katina, things will never change. If you can't tell the truth and communicate, things won't change because they don't know that they're hurting you.
Right. They'll just continue to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a good episode.
It was a really good episode, you guys. It was a really good episode. So this Friday, so we will see next week, they go away for their trip and it looks like a hot mess. Everybody's crying.
As always.
And I really don't want to watch it because right now I feel like everybody's doing good.
Right.
I don't want to see Mark and Lindsay upset. They're so emotionally. I can't see Mark and Lindsay having, they were at the after show, they were talking about having kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And they asked Mark and Lindsay if they were going to have kids. I was like, please no.
No, they're not even going to be together. So there will be no kids.
But, you know, we forgot to say how Olajuwon said, you know, I love being with her, but I'm not in love with her. In front of everybody.
And she kind of was like.
And continued to look
the same. What?
And continued to look the same.
Right. I know. It's like I think he might be in love with her, but I think he's afraid to admit it. And I think she's probably fallen in love with him too.
Yeah, I think they're in love with each other, but just scared to admit it. It's so sad. Right. It's so sad. The fact that those are fighting words when you say in front of people, I'm not in love with this person. Nobody needs to hear that.
Right.
But yet, you know, I was just like, that's airing dirty laundry, Olajuwon.
Yeah, definitely.
I think he's a narcissist. Uchenna doesn't think he is. I want to know, do you guys
I think he's misguided.
She
and
thinks
needs
he's
help.
misguided and he needs help. I think
Right.
he's a narcissist that needs help.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to know what your thoughts are on Olajuwon's behavior. Is he a narcissist or is he a misguided person that needs help?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we want to make sure that you guys watch us this Friday. Because, you know, Put a Ring on It is coming up again. And we know y'all loving that show because we've converted some of you guys into watching the TV show with us.
Right. And then we're also going to be doing Ready to Love, both on Friday. So make sure that you put on your notifications so you can see it when we post.
Yeah. And also, I'm thinking about doing the Real Housewives of Lagos, Nigeria, because y'all didn't know we were both Nigerians, did you?
Yes.
Girl. So but
it's hard to find. So we are going to continue to search and find out how to watch it here in the United States. Then we're going to let you guys know so you can watch it too.
All right, you guys. Well, have a good night and we'll talk.
But don't forget to turn on your notifications, like this episode, subscribe, and comment below.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.